heard you have an interview. Well, make sure to dress professionally, be on time, and don't forget your star stories. You know, many organizations these days, including Moffitt, are using an interview technique called behavioral interviewing. So what is that? Well, behavioral interviewing is the concept that past behavior is the best predictor of future performance. So they ask you questions related to that so they can determine how you've handled situations in the past. You know, in a traditional interview, somebody may ask you a question like, how many years of healthcare experience do you have? In a behavioral interview, they ask questions like, tell me about a difficult patient you had to deal with and how you turned around that situation. Do you see the difference? It's much more specific. So how do you as an applicant prepare for that kind of an interview? Well, the answer is STAR stories. S-T-A-R. The S and the T stand for situation or task. The situation or task is an opportunity to say what happened, what was the objective, what was the issue that occurred, what were you trying to accomplish, what were the obstacles. Really set the stage for the story. The A stands for action. What did you do to turn around this situation? Did you lead the team? Were you involved in a committee? Did you have sole responsibility? What was done to actually address the situation that occurred? And last is R for result. What was the outcome of the situation? Did performance improve? Did you turn around that negative situation? Did you adopt a new initiative for the organization? What was the actual result? That's it. That's your STAR story. So let's look at an example of how behavioral interviewing actually works. In this example, I'll be the applicant. So I'm a candidate looking for a new position. And the interviewer asks me a question like, tell me about a time you worked effectively as part of a team. Okay, now it's time for me to pull out my STAR story. So my answer might be, you know, in my last organization, I led a team to improve telephone skills in the organization. We found that feedback from patients and internal customers told us that there was a real problem with this area. We weren't being courteous. We didn't answer the phone quickly. So I led a team to come up with an internal marketing plan to advertise the importance of this. We came up with specific service standards that everyone would follow, and then we educated the entire workforce on how to do this. At the end of the campaign, not only had we improved the skills and the courtesy levels by 55%, we also won an internal marketing award from the Florida Hospital Association. See, that's it. That's a STAR story. It's short, sweet, and to the point. If the interviewer wants more information, they'll be happy to ask you follow-up questions. But it's better to be a little bit short than to have a very long story. So what do you do if you can't come up with that perfect example? Well, try to come up with something close. If you don't have a specific work example, is there something from an internship or volunteer work that you've done that would, relate to this topic? Remember that the more relevant and the more recent it is, the better. Now, the worst case scenario is if you just go completely blank. So if you're in the interview, they've asked you this question and you just can't think of anything, then just ask them for a little time to think about an example for them. That's okay. So just, tell them, do you mind if I take just a minute to think of a good example for you? They won't mind. Just clear your head, think of something that you can use, and then tell your story. So the best bet is to simply be prepared. Anticipate questions they might ask you ahead of time and get your STAR stories prepared. That way, you'll feel more confident and you'll be the star of your next interview. Good luck.